Dr. Sunita, please put yourself on. Yes, thank you so much. So, a very refreshing good afternoon to one and all present here, all the experts, our keynote speaker, our guest of honor, and our experts and participants. So, I welcome you to this valedictory session. And now we are about to conclude this 2 days virtual international conference on mindful trauma management and happy relationship. It has been a wonderful journey, and we have a few other experts with us who are going to enlighten us on different aspects of trauma and happy relationship. So the first speaker is our keynote speaker for the valedictory session, Professor Dr. Sunita Dalal. She's from Kurukshetra University and teaching in the biochemistry department. Am I right, Dr. Sunita, biochemistry department?
It's biotechnology.
Biotechnology department. So let's talk about how mind is connected with gut. So over to you, Dr. Sunita. The forum is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Deepika. I think you had a wonderful talks on the various psychological counseling aspects and the coping mechanisms and how one should be mindful in tackling the abuses or any other psychotic disorders. So I opted a topic on the gut health since it is directly related to, and I want to validate certain aspects of how technically and biologically it is connected and how biotechnology is contributing role in that. So I would love to share my slide. Just please. Hmm. How it's going to share that is.
You can click on share button and then window.
I'm doing that only. Then window, screen window, select to share. Uh, Will somebody suggest me how to take it?
Just click on share. Then you will have window and entire screen. You have to click on window and select your PPT.
Hmm. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You can make it full screen if you want. Otherwise, you can
Yeah,
put it on
it's
slideshow. Thank you. It's done.
So as the topic clearly indicates, it's related to leaky gut and how the leaky gut affects the brain. And definitely, almost all psychiatrists and psychologists must be advising their patients about eating the healthy food and taking exercises and spiritual ways, also the meditation, the need of the time, and all that. So, taking that basic aspect into a more technical form, I'd love to share few works already done globally in high, profound uh, journals like the Lancet, the Nature. They all are talking about this leaky gut and how it is affecting the brain. So it all began when almost 2000 years ago, when Hippocrates said that all disease begins in the gut. Besides that, leave about the Hippocrates, we also talk about the Ayurveda. Ayurveda also talks about the perfect, healthy gut. If the gut or the eating habits are correct, definitely many of the diseases can be avoided. So, talking that aspect in the today's lecture, I would like to talk about the blood-brain barrier, since brain is very privileged organ. So, the main protective barriers are the BBA, what you call blood-brain barrier. It prevents the undesirable entry and exit of the many substances so that it can work efficiently and in healthy way. So the psychiatry tend to focus exclusively on the central nervous system, the brain, the spinal cord, the neurons, and all that. But in the recent years, almost it's only 10 years old story, when the serious talk has been started for the gut health also, that how rightfully the gut affects the various neurocognitive disorders. So we all are aware that these basic things happen with us since I remember when I was a graduate student, whenever I used to go for my examination, I always used to have stomach disorder. Obviously, the stress was in the brain that I have to take the exam, but certain butterflies or the juggling start happen in the tummy. So it happens with everybody, and the very thought of second aspect is the very thought of eating any food, golgappa shop or anything spicy. We talk about, we start salivation. But the salivation is definitely the enzymes are released somewhere after the order from the brain. So definitely there is some stomach juices before we think about it, and they start coming in our mouth. Again, there is some sense organs connection with the desire and thought and the digestive juices, which are again secreted by the gut. So why you feel some nauseated before traveling also, before any presentation also, before taking some interview also, these things too happen. So definitely some, when we are in a relationship, when we want to meet our loved ones or something like that, butterflies start happening in our tummy. So the feelings, the stress, the anxiety, the happiness, somewhere they all are connected with our digestive system. So the psychological factors that influence the actual physiology of the gut. So same is the case with the depression and many other aspects. There is definitely the contractions or the relaxation in the GI, that is the gastrointestinal tract. So in a way, we can say if you have a mental stress, the tummy is disturbed, and when your tummy is disturbed, you get also irritated. So it is bidirectional connection between the brain and the gut. So things have been proven in various. I have taken screenshots of the many of the papers published it's a recent first Feb 2024. It's an article published where it validated that if you take the antidepressant, there is management of the IBS, that is irritable bowel syndrome. It's a continuous, uncontrolled 10 to 12 times diarrhea, loose motions occurring in a patient, and many a times they are not managed with the typical medicines meant for the diarrhea control, or even after taking long doses of the antibiotics, they are not controllable. But the studies has provided that IBS has been to some extent relieved and managed by antidepressant. Another effort is ongoing since it's 2023. Another that is the search to link between the IBD and mental health through the gut microbiome. What exactly is this gut and all that? We will talk about this in the upcoming few minutes. So first talking about the leaky brain. The title was the leaky brain and the leaky gut. So what exactly is the leaky brain? Whatever symptoms we are facing because of the, we say a person is suffering from dementia or some neurodegenerative disorder, Alzheimer's or multiple sclerosis or ADHD, autism, seizures, they're typically the mental health issues. But they are the symptoms we are talking about. The category of the symptoms has been categorized, but there is some disturbance in the brain, and these symptoms may be exhibited or person is diagnosed for these various diseases. Maybe there is a typical brain leakage. There is hardly any genetic disorder or any other neuron dysfunctioning. There is a typical brain leakage. Could be the reason that is exhibiting all these symptoms, and the doctor, the psychiatrist, is able to diagnose the person with these respective diseases. So now talking about what exactly causes these leaky brain. So first we talked about the blood-brain barrier. As I told you, brain is the most protected organ of the body, and definitely it's not comfortable. And that is the major reason many of the brain uh, diseases are not curable because of the that many of the medicines are not able to pass into the brain. That is the beauty of the brain, because there are that provides its protection also, but at many times one has to work on the nano techniques to treat the brains. In the surgery cases also it's complicated. So the major concern is the blood brain barrier. And definitely doctors, when say the infection has arrived or reached into the brain, it's very difficult because many of the antibiotics don't are not able to go or cross that barrier. But when in case of the leaky brain, this is damaged. The BBB, that is the blood-brain barrier, is damaged. So there is a function. There is, as the name indicates, leakage. Means there is transfer of the undesirable substances is possible because of the increase in the size of the pores. This is a typically healthy blood-brain barrier, and this is a diseased. When a person is diseased and or having the leaky brain, undesirable substances, when there is a controlled influx of the substances, the body metabolites or the hormones or other metabolites required for the proper functioning of the brain. But in case of the diseased blood barrier, the uncontrolled, the more amount of the substances tend to enter into, and this leads to the inflammation. There are various nagging symptoms, and the serious brain and mental health issues occur. There's ions, the undesirable ion influx upon that further changes the intracranial pressure also. So beside this, there are other also similar kind of the dysfunction. This is a typical image, the CT scan, MRI image of a healthy brain and the leaky brain. As could be seen, there is a lot of the noise in the brain after undesirable influx. So what are the basic causes of this leaky brain? As initial, the first slide indicated, we are talking about the leaky brain as coordinated with the not a negative, it's negatively managed with a leaky gut. So the first is the gut dysbiosis, or they have mentioned the function also, it should be oblique, but dysbiosis is when there is change in the microbiome, the microbial flora of the gut. That technically leads to the leaky gut also. They are all almost same things. The autoimmune diseases also are connected with the gut dysbiosis. As you will see how when the gut is leaky, what exactly happens, there is trigger of the cytokinins, and that leads to the generation of the autoimmune diseases also. And definitely the other is that if a person in itself is suffering from the some mental health conditions, that could be the physiology of the brain. Suppose a person is having a healthy gut, but maybe he is suffering from any other mental health condition, that also leads to the leaky brain. And definitely the stress and the vagus nerve dysfunction. A vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve that is originating from the brain. There are two nerves passing, afferent and efferent. They are connected to the major organs of the body, and they are definitely a connection or the junction between the gut and the brain. And definitely the good fatty acid. So it's always advisable for the mental health to have omega-3 fatty acid or the good fat, the short chain fatty acids as well. This is a perfect picture where it indicates how this is the brain and this is the gut, the intestine. What exactly is gut? I'll come with the next few slides. What exactly is the gut? But now you take just a digestive system, the lining, the intestinal epithelial lining. And if a person is having stress, now first we are talking how the brain is affecting the gut. If a person is having a stress because of the any reason, the physical trauma or the mental trauma, any stress a person is facing, that affects the hypothalamus of the brain, and that further passes on to the pituitary gland. These are two the parts of the brain, and then the adrenal glands. These are the two glands which are on our kidneys. So they release the glucocorticosteroids. These are the glucocorticosteroids. This is a healthy normal gut. When they pass into it, they trigger on the loss of the good bacteria. These glucocorticosteroids decline the number of the good bacteria, and the bad bacteria are generated, and definitely this enhances the leaky gut generation also. And these are the short chain fatty acids, which are typically synthesized. Short chain fatty acids are the good fatty acids, butyric acid and all that. They are technically synthesized in the gut by the microorganism. So you must have noticed certain doctors prescribe, along with the antibiotics, they prescribe some probiotics also. The capsules having the probiotics also. That is a supplement to substitute the loss of the good bacteria in the gut. So in a way, the psychobiotics here are the images deleted. Probiotics and prebiotics are also supplemented. They tend to degrade they tend to generate the short chain fatty acids. The various metabolites are generated. This is enteroendocrine cells. As endocrine is for the hormone generation micro, and these are hormone generating cells, they are present. So the gut is also called the second brain. This is the first brain we are normally aware of. Now for the last 10 years, the gut science has revealed there are millions of the neurons present here on the in the gut, and they are connected with the vagus nerve to the brain. And the meditation and all that work we do, the chanting and all those exercises to to please or to calm our anxiety, they are technically here. This is because for the calmness of the vagus nerve. So that method can calm the nerves. That is the track or the connecting method from connecting channel from the gut to the brain. So that to be important to be calmed, this to be calmed, and this, then it's a perfect body. So various gut hormones are released from these enteroendocrine. Entero means the intestine, endocrine is the hormone releasing cells. They are present here. So the various gut hormones are released. Here is the perfect coordination showing. There's elevation when there is increase in the glucocorticosteroid. They reduce the microbiome. Microbiome is the consortium or the collection of the trillions of the microorganisms. Trillions. They are 90% of the microorganisms present in on or into the human body. There are trillions of the 4 trillion microorganisms present in the gut. So there should be an optimum high concentration of the good microorganisms. There should be the very high diversity also. So definitely these glucocorticosteroids should be controlled. Means if the stress is managed, there is a low generation of the leaky gut. And the other cause of the leaky gut is certain people are gluten sensitive. These proteins are released, they attack the brain and the gut lining, and that attacks the BBB. Already we talked about these are the BBB, brain barrier, and the blood-brain barriers. Then another is the liver releases a signal MMP3 that also affects the BB permeability. Then this is vagus nerves, neuroendocrine system. I told you about this. Then there are cytokines. Cytokines is for the immune response. They are generated in response to the inflammation. And there are microbial metabolites are SCFs, and few other chemical the micro biomolecules are released. They are the consolidated the brain and the connection between the gut. And these are various hormones we talked about. You people must have heard about the dopamine, serotonin, noradrenaline, adrenaline, GABA. These are and the gastrointestinal hormones also. And these are HPA. We already talked. There is estrobolome. What is estrobolome? Estrogen. We all are aware. Man and woman have estrogen. Estrogen is also good required in an optimum concentration. And this has the gut has estrobolome. Bolome means the collection of the microorganisms which are responsible for the metabolism of estrogen. So in itself, a collection of the, they have been segregated, isolated, or studied that these are the classes of the microorganisms present in the gut which are responsible for the proper metabolism of the estrogen. Now you will ask how you know if a person is having a leaky brain or not. These are few technical methods from which you can check out if a person is having a leaky brain or not. You can go through these. These are GABA, EEG, the spectrophotometry, the MMP3, that is the enzyme released from the liver. How its concentration is increased. There's a genetic testing. There are certain genes which are overexpressed or not. Occludin and zonulin. These are typical. Zonulin is a typical chemical. It's a protein. It is found in the blood serum, and it is also found from the feces, the potty, the poop of the person, any healthy or the diseased person. If that is tested for the zonulin concentration, if it is high, then it can be validated that the person is suffering from the leaky gut. Similarly, because zonulin is effective in the leaky brain, जो blood brain barrier का जो epithelial tissue है, उसके जो connections हैं, they are also because of these occludin zonulin. If they are loosely available in the blood and they are found in high concentration in the serum, then it's validate the person is suffering from it. These are the various diagnostic measures. Now we talk about the microbiome. Microbiome, what exactly is the gut is from the esophagus to the bowel. Gut health covers the health of the entire digestive system, but 90% of the food is digested and uptaken, the nutrients are uptaken in the small intestine. So we mostly, when we talk about the gut, we take or when you see the images, you find the intestine portion also. Although technically it is from the esophagus to the bowel. So gut contains the trillion of the microorganisms. They are mostly beneficial or the harmful varieties. It is unique. Any person could have different. It doesn't mean if my microbiome is variant from you, you are unhealthy, or me, I am unhealthy. That is not aspects. It's all in our environmental epigenetic factors, the eating habit. There are so many other combinations a person could having the variation in the microbiome. No. The factors affect like the diet, etc. They affect. So our gut bacteria perform so many significant beneficial functions. They are important for it. You can just go through it. I already told you 99% of the human genetic composition from the genetic materials carried by the intestinal microbiota. It is a healthy. There is decreased number of the good microorganisms. It has increase in the pathogenic microorganism is number, and this is reduction in the diversity. So all these are the factors of all the dysbiosis, and this is the perfect healthy gut. So another is shown from here. If the gut lining is damaged, the holes become bigger and those harmful substances can pass through it, as could be seen from this human gut. In these all images obtained from the HGP human phagosome. Phagosome, it's a healthy human gut phagosome. That is the consortium, the display. They are the balanced bacteria. Phagosome is phages. Phages are the viral molecules. They are which feed or survive along with the bacteria. So the gut does not have only the bacteria; it has the fungus, it has the viruses, which has it has bacteria, both good and bad. If good number is high, a person gut is healthy, and if bad number is high, definitely a person is unhealthy. As can be, this is unhealthy gut proportionately when the antibiotics destroy the healthy microbiome, giving a pathogen. The bad pathogen and start cultivating more. These red one are shown to be bad pathogens, and definitely dysbiosis level reaches where the pathogenic bacteria are much more higher. There's loss of the phage diversity, that is the viruses diversity is decreased, the other bacteria and the fungal diversity is decreased, and the pathogens induce the inflammation and disease, the loose emotions, the stomach disorders and leakage, and as we already see how that affects the brain also. What can alter and damage? These are various factors which affects the unbalanced diet, the inflammation process. These are the various list of the substances which are responsible for the damaging the gut flora. And this is the healthy microbiome. These are the few classes of the bacteria which are found in the healthy gut. And these are the classes which are found in unhealthy number when their concentration increases in case of the person is having unhealthy or dysbiosis. And this number, SCF, short chain fatty acid production enhanced. You have a thick mucus production, as this is the mucus, the green one. Then you have a less number of LPS, lipopolysaccharides are less in number. The epithelial, this is also one of the way of checking if a person is having the healthy gut or the unhealthy gut, the leaky gut or not. So again, the good the short chain fatty acid numbers decreased, and again they become permeable because there is already thinning of the mucus production, and they are porous now. Undesirable pathogens are entering into the bloodstream. If this is the bloodstream, after they are lined with the small intestine, or the gut is lined with the bloodstream, the capillaries which take up different nutrients, and they are transported to the all the body parts. There is a good improvement. There is a high improvement of the lipid metabolism. Definitely the insulin sensitivity, the anti-inflammatory markers are high in case of if a person has a healthy microbiome. But in case a person has unhealthy, these are glucose levels spike, the insulin resistance happens, their base inflammatory cytokinins are also released. So perfectly shown image how the unhealthy or the healthy microbiome affects the rest of the body or the health also. They are furthermore connected, how the dysbiosis of the human microbiota affect the, here our focus is here only the gut brain axis, which was through the vagus nerve and other parameters. So they are affecting the lung axis, the other metabolism, the skin issues also happen, the heart diseases also happen. Though they are all connected with the dysbiosis of the human microbiota. So here another interesting aspect is the microbiome in the context of the depression. What exactly happens? That is again hypothalamus related, pituitary gland related, HPH we call it, and the cortisol is released. They affect the concentration of the gut microbiome. We literally talk about it initially also, but things are mutually connected. If the microbiota is disturbed, that affects the brain, and if a person is having a disturbance in the brain, that also affects the brain because the corticosteroids are released. And then this is a typical example where the HBD axis is if a person is fed with the probiotics. This is a study which indicate probiotic, and placebo means a person is given nothing. He has been felt psychologically that he is also being given the probiotic. As blue is the probiotic, that indicates the hippocampus activity is potentially enhanced. So, but in the case of the placebo, that has been decreased. Is commonly means the hippocampus appears hyperactive in patients with the depressive symptoms. It normally happens, but when the person was given the probiotics treatment, the deactivation of the hippocampal was noticed, and definitely it indicates the healthy brain. Means the good bacteria were added into the gut. Probiotics are a class of the lactobacillus, and another, I don't remember the other. They are the class of the bacteria which are normally we take in the probiotic form. They provide various supplements. They help in the degradation of the fiber lying there, generation of the short chain fatty acids. In a way, they are class of the microorganisms, bacteria responsible for improving the gut microbiome or the gut health. This is another example of the multiple sclerosis psychiatrists know about. Is this is again a brain disorder when we talk about the MS, how they have the high concentration of these all undesirable bad bacteria, but in control the same conditions were applied to the person, but the healthy person had the good collection of the bacteria in the gut. So how it is connected? So if the gut and brain are connected, does that mean that treating the gut issues can cure the mental health conditions like anxiety and depression? These are the therapeutic ways how a person gut could be improved, and the image in itself indicate how this can improve the brain, various aspects of neuroinflammation and the cognitive symptoms of the brain on treating the person with various methods like the prebiotics, probiotics, FMT. It's a new thing. It's a fecal microbiome transplant. And it may be new for few people, but fecal means again the poop, the potty, which is transfused also. You people must have heard about the platelet transfusion, the blood transfusion, the organ transplantation, but the fecal microbiome transplantation is also very common for the treatment of IBT. Uh, this is the typical the dysbiosis, intestinal dysbiosis. Eubiosis means when a person has been treated with fecal microbiota transplantation or certain probiotics are administered into the person and there is good dietary interventions has been generated. This is poop, and these are the probiotics. This is the good food. If a person is supplemented with all these, then the person gains eubiosis. These are the few validations from the Journal of Nature, the Lancet, the very well-known journals which validate this is a certain part of the biotechnology. And this is the last slide. Department of Biotechnology, another term has recently appeared, that is the neurobiotechnology. So what neurobiotechnology do? This is my last slide. I know my time is about to over. The Department of Biotechnology, Government of India has started a National Center for Brain Research at Manesar, and they have invited for the various neuro tools generated by the biotechnologist precisely to manage the various cognitive databases compilation and to check on the cellular and molecular biology level how the mental health play a role and how they could be diagnosed and treated upon. That's all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sunita, for a wonderful presentation. Can you please put yourself on mute? Because it is echoing, I think. Such a wonderful presentation it is, and it is very close to my heart because I am from neuropsychology background and cognitive psychology background. So this is something which I deal with in day-to-day life. And that's why when a lot of clients come to me, I always say, look at your gut. Look at your gut, and you have to have a healthy lifestyle. Get up early in the morning, exercise, eat healthy, drink healthy, and sleep on time, which is important. And this is, you have presented it in such a wonderful way that are all psychologists. We have 125 psychologists right over here, and all budding psychologists. Now you should be aware that how our gut is connected to our brain, and why do we need to sleep on time, why do we need to eat healthy, why do we need to drink healthy. So it's not something, a lifestyle, a high class lifestyle or low class lifestyle. It is about how much you love yourself. The class and strata and standard will be defined by your health, right? So when it comes to trauma, this is how happens to your, well, this is what happens to your brain, and how things go wrong in your body, in your gut, and hence in your mind. So your leaky gut can have a leaky brain, right? So remember that you have to have a good gut to have a good brain, and vice versa, because it is a vicious circle and it is interconnected. One hormone, one hormonal problem will lead to havoc in your body, in the whole circulatory system, in the whole neurotransmitter system. So we need to have a balanced body. We need to have homogeneity inside, in the internal atmosphere, in the internal environment of our body. Just catch hold of it and love yourself. The way, the day you will start loving yourself, everything will be balanced. And when you need help, go ahead and ask for help. And that's the reason we have a lot of IBS and IBD these days, a lot of. So everybody who comes with stress has irritable bowel syndrome or irritable bowel disease. This is the reason. So catch hold of your life, take control of your life, because you are the driver of your life. So thank you so much, Dr. Sunita, once again for such a wonderful presentation. And now let's invite Mr. Pankaj. Mr. Pankaj is there. Has Mr. Pankaj joined?
Yes,
Yes. So
Dr.
Mr.
Deepika.
Pankaj,
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear
Mr.
me?
Pankaj, yes, you are audible. You are loud and clear.
Thank you.
Dr. Mr. Pankaj is advocate in and he practices in High Court of Uttarakhand, and he's a very well-known social activist of Uttarakhand and the spokesperson of Congress from Uttarakhand. तो नमस्कार मिस्टर पंकज, और आप बहुत सारा
Thank
काम
you.
कर रहे हैं ड्रग अब्यूज के ऊपर, अल्कोहल डी एडिक्शन के ऊपर आप बहुत सारा काम कर रहे हैं। स्पीकिंग क्यूब भी आपकी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के साथ काम कर रहा है। तो हम चाहते हैं कि आप अपने दो शब्द बोलें और हमारे जो ये फ्यूचर जनरेशन है इनको मोटिवेट करें। ओवर टू यू मिस्टर।
सबसे सबसे पहले तो मैं बहुत आपका स्पीकिंग क्यूब का और आपका आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। आपने मुझे प्लेटफॉर्म दिया, ये मंच दिया बात करने के लिए। और आप बधाई के पात्र हैं, जो 4th वर्चुअल इंटरनेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रही है माइंडफुल ट्रॉमा मैनेजमेंट एंड हैप्पी रिलेशनशिप पे। तो आज के दौर में ये बहुत जरूरी चीज हो गई है, और इस पे हम लोगों ने बात करना छोड़ दिया है। और स्पीकिंग क्यूब लगातार इस पे काम कर रहा है और बात कर रहा है। आप इसके लिए बधाई के पात्र हैं। और जिस तरीके से आज मुझे आपने ड्रग अब्यूज और पुअर लाइफ स्किल पे बोलने के लिए आमंत्रित किया है, तो मैं आप लोग तो खुद ही साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं, और भी पूरा ग्रुप ऑफ एसोसिएशंस आप लोग का साइकोलॉजिस्ट का जुड़ा हुआ है। तो मेरे से ज्यादा बेहतर आप लोग जानते हैं कि ये क्या चल रहा है और क्यों चल रहा है। पर मैं अपने प्रैक्टिकल अनुभव, जो मैंने पिछले 2 साल से ड्रग अब्यूज पे जब से मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, अवेयरनेस पे हमने एक सोसाइटी बनाई है, सहयोग सोसाइटी, और हम इस पे अवेयरनेस पे काम करते हैं बेसिकली। हमने देखा कि पुलिस भी अपना काम कर रही है, ये जो ड्रग पैडलर्स होते हैं उनको पकड़ के, और बाकी लोग भी काम कर रहे हैं अपना, यूनिवर्सिटीज और कॉलेजेस। पर इसमें जो सबसे बड़ा काम है, अवेयरनेस का और जागरूकता का जो काम है वो को इसमें थोड़ी हमें कमी लगी है। क्योंकि मैंने पर्सनली अपना अनुभव ये है, मेरे क्लोज फैमिली फ्रेंड्स में एक बच्चे की ड्रग्स के नशे के चपेट में आने की वजह से उसकी मौत हो गई थी और उनका परिवार बहुत इस दुःख से गुज़रा है, तो मैंने बहुत करीब से देखा है। तो तभी मैंने ये निर्णय लिया कि मैं इसमें अवेयरनेस पे इस पे काम करूँगा। और हम लोगों ने देखा जो आजकल की जो जनरेशन है, वो आइडेंटिफिकेशन क्राइसिस से बहुत ज़्यादा गुज़र रही है और उनको एक लोनलीनेस का फ़ियर है। तो जो आपने जैसे बोला कि भई पुअर लाइफ स्किल, जो पुअर लाइफ स्किल जब हो जाती है तो वो ड्रग अब्यूज़ में उनको पहले तो शौक में आते हैं, अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ या टेस्ट करने के लिए। फिर धीरे-धीरे उनको उसके एडिक्शन में चले जाते हैं और फिर एडिक्शन में जाते-जाते वो फिर सीवियर पोज़ीशन में चले जाते हैं। तो इससे अभी मैं सुन रहा था डॉक्टर सुनीता दलाल को भी, उन्होंने बहुत अच्छा बोला और वो सारी बातें भी जो लाइफ़स्टाइल है, अच्छे से सोना, अच्छे से खाना, अपने ध्यान देना, योगा, मेडिटेशन, वो भी एक लाइफ़ का पार्ट है। अगर हम उसमें हमें आने वाली जनरेशन जो है हमें और उनको यही बोलना चाहिए कि जिस हिसाब से आजकल ओटीटी प्लेटफ़ॉर्म्स में रात भर वो सीरीज़ देख रहे हैं और दिन भर सो रहे हैं और अनहाइजीनिक और बाहर जितना जंक फूड खा रहे हैं, तो हमें उनको ये बोलना चाहिए, उनको अवेयरनेस लानी चाहिए कि आप अपनी लाइफ से प्यार करें, अपने आप से प्यार करें और इसमें कोई संकोच ना करें कि आप अकेले हैं। हमें ये एक नैसर्गिक सिद्धांत है प्रकृति का कि हम अकेले आए हैं, हमें अकेले जाना है, तो अकेले जब होते हैं तो नशे के आदी होने के अलावा भी हमारे पास बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो मैंने फ़ील करी हैं। जब आप अकेले होते हैं तो आप कहीं सोलो ट्रैवलिंग कर सकते हैं, नेचर के बीच में नेचर वॉक कर सकते हैं, मेडिटेशन कर सकते हैं, योगा कर सकते हैं, अच्छा अच्छा खा सकते हैं, अच्छा अच्छा नेचर के बीच में मैं कभी-कभी खुद ही चले जाता हूँ अकेले ही और अपना कहीं नेचर में बैठ के खुद से ही कोई वहीं पे बना के और अकेले रहना भी चाहिए और आजकल की जनरेशन को हमें सिखाना पड़ेगा कि और बोलना पड़ेगा कि आप बिल्कुल भी डरें ना। तो मेरे से बेहतर तो आप लोग जानते हैं, पर जो मैं अनुभव कर रहा हूँ, देख रहा हूँ बच्चे इसमें जो जा रहे हैं ये बहुत खतरनाक है और हमें इसको जो पुअर लाइफ स्किल है, इसको रोकना पड़ेगा तो हम ड्रग अब्यूज़ को भी रोक पाएँगे और इसको धीरे-धीरे हम लोग को अपने पैटर्न पे बच्चों को लेके आना पड़ेगा और जैसे कि अब मैं देखता हूँ काफ़ी कि जो उनका शौक होता है बच्चे उससे घबराते हैं। जो कोई अच्छा गाता है, तो पर वो घबराता है। कि नहीं मैं तो आजकल बच्चे उनको अच्छा गाना भी चाहिए, अच्छा सुनना भी चाहिए, अपनी कोई हॉबीज़ हैं वो करें और नशे से बहुत हम लोग को बचाना है तो जागरूकता एक लानी पड़ेगी क्योंकि इसमें एक बारी जो चला गया उसका आना मैंने देखा नामुमकिन मैं नहीं कहूँगा पर बहुत मुश्किल है। बहुत, बहुत मुश्किल है। मैंने बहुत बहुत कम लोगों को वापस अब आते हुए देखा है और हम लोग बहुत कोशिश कर रहे हैं। कई सालों तक कई महीनों से हम लोग काम कर रहे हैं और कई सालों पुरानों बच्चों से भी हम बात कर रहे हैं और उनके साथ हम लोग संपर्क में हैं। तो वो कहते हैं कि अब तो हम उनको बताते हैं कि आप धीरे-धीरे आओ, अपनी आदतों पे सुधार लाओ। तो और बाकी हम डॉक्टर दीपिका आपका जो समय-समय पर हमें सहयोग मिलता रहता है, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ और स्पीकिंग क्यूब के तमाम हमारे साथी और भी हम जितने भी प्रोग्राम्स कराते हैं, बेसिकली हम लोग जो प्रोग्राम कराते हैं, हम अवेयरनेस पे प्रोग्राम कराते हैं। अब अवेयरनेस पे क्या होता है, टॉक्स, डिबेट्स, लेक्चर ये हम नहीं कराते हैं। हम साफ बोलते हैं, हम यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में जाते हैं, हम बोलते हैं हमसे लेक्चर कराना है, हम नहीं कराएँगे। क्या कराना है? हम बच्चों को एंटरटेन करेंगे, कैसे? थ्रू म्यूज़िक। हमारे बैंड्स हैं, हमारे कॉमेडियंस हैं, हमारे कुछ हास्य कलाकार हैं, वो सब बच्चों को जब यूनिवर्सिटीज में जाते हैं हम उनको एंटरटेन करते हैं। जब हम एंटरटेन करते हैं तो उस एंटरटेन सेशन का जब पीक होता है, तब उसमें साइकोलॉजिस्ट जो स्किल्ड हैं, लास्ट टाइम हमने 3-4 प्रोग्राम किए स्पीकिंग क्यूब के साथ मिलके, और डॉक्टर दीपिका के जो उन्होंने बहुत हेल्प करी, जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव आए साइकोलॉजिस्ट स्पीकिंग क्यूब के, उन्होंने भी यही किया। जब वो बच्चे बिल्कुल पीक पे एंटरटेनमेंट में मगन हो गए थे, तब उनसे बात करी। तब उन्होंने अपने मतलब मैं बता रहा हूँ, कम से कम हमने एसबीएस में जब लास्ट टाइम किया, तो पूरा उसमें कम से कम 700-800 बच्चे थे ऑडिटोरियम में। 700-800 बच्चों के सामने लगभग 7-8 लड़कों ने और 2-3 लड़कियों ने इनडायरेक्टली ये डिक्लेयर किया कि दे आर इनटू दिस ड्रग अब्यूज। तो ये इसी का परिणाम है जो मैंने देखा है। जब आप बच्चों के साथ घुल-मिल जाते हो, जब बच्चों के साथ आप इस भूमिका में रहते हो कि आप उनको मार-मार के नहीं ला रहे हो, आप उनको समझा के ला रहे हो, उनको एंटरटेन करके ला रहे हो। तो मेरा भी आप लोगों से यही अनुरोध है कि इन फ्यूचर भी इसी प्रकार से हमारा सहयोग, संस्था का सहयोग करते रहें। और भी जो साइकोलॉजिस्ट हम फ्यूचर में प्रोग्राम करेंगे, जो हमसे जुड़ना चाहते हैं, वो इसमें जुड़ें, क्योंकि अब आने वाले टाइम पे मैं देख रहा हूँ हमारे यहाँ जितनी देहरादून में और पूरे उत्तराखंड में तमाम यूनिवर्सिटीज और कॉलेजेस आ गए हैं, और तमाम राज्यों से बच्चे आ रहे हैं, और हर एक लेवल के बच्चे हैं उसमें। तो ज्यादातर जो अमीर घरानों के बच्चे हैं, जो केवल जिनके माँ-बाप पैसे कमा रहे हैं और पैसे भेज रहे हैं, वो बड़ी-बड़ी गाड़ियों से घूम रहे हैं, और उनके पास इतना एक्सेस में पैसा है कि वो छोटा-छोटा, वो 1-1 2-2 ग्राम का आता है। मुझे तो हम लोग जब अभी रिसर्च कर रहे थे तो हमने देखा 5-5 हज़ार रुपए का ग्राम भी ड्रग्स का वो आ रहा है डोज़। तो वो लेते हैं, और मैं माँ-बाप से भी अपील करना चाहूँगा कि कम से कम आप पैसे दें, आप पैसे कमा रहे हैं, अच्छी बात है, पर कम से कम पेरेंटिंग अच्छी करें, उनको देखें पीछे से कि जो हम पैसा भेज रहे हैं, वो कहाँ जा रहा है। उनका जो हमने फैसिलिटी दी है, सपोज़ उनको गाड़ी दी है, तो वो गाड़ी में क्या काम हो रहा है, कम से कम यूटिलाइज़ करें। उनको पीजी जहाँ पे गेस्ट हाउसेज़ में दे रखा है, फ्लैट्स लेके दे रखे हैं, वहाँ फ्लैट्स में क्या चल रहा है, कम से कम ये चीज़ों को भी पेरेंट्स को देखना चाहिए, और अपने बच्चों को ये सीख देनी चाहिए कि इतना उनके साथ एक दोस्ती भी रहे। बच्चे जब अकेले होते हैं, तब वो ढूँढते हैं कि मैं अपनी बात किसे बताऊँ, और अपने वो अपनी शेयर किसे करूँ, कोई दुःख है, कोई परेशानी है, कोई पीड़ा है। तो इसमें हम देख रहे हैं, और इसीलिए बच्चे वहाँ जा रहे हैं। तो बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद डॉक्टर दीपिका एंड स्पीकिंग क्यूब, और तमाम हमारे साइकोलॉजिस्ट सभी, आप लोगों ने मुझे अवसर दिया आपके बीच में बोलने का, और हमारा छोटा-सा प्रयास है, और हम चाहते हैं कि इन फ्यूचर भी आप लोग इसी प्रकार से सहयोग करते रहें। हम समाज में जो ये आग की गति से, तेजी से घर-घर में नशा जो ये फैल रहा है, इसको हम रोकें, और एक इसमें जागरूकता लेके आएँ। धन्यवाद। धन्यवाद।
बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद मिस्टर पंकज। आप तो मेरे मित्र ही हैं और सहयोगी भी हैं। हमारे हम सभी जो अच्छे काम सोसाइटी के लिए करते हैं, समाज के लिए करते हैं, उसमें एटलीस्ट देहरादून में तो हम मिलकर कर ही रहे हैं, और धीरे-धीरे इसको हम इंडिया में भी बढ़ाएँगे। अभी हमारे पास 130 से ज़्यादा बडिंग साइकोलॉजिस्ट हैं, और कुछ साउथ अफ्रीका के भी हैं, कुछ यहाँ के हैं। तो इनके लिए ये एक बहुत बड़ा आई ओपनर है ये एक दूसरे पहलू से। हम सिर्फ साइकोलॉजिस्ट के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखते हैं, बट जब हम एक पेरेंट के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखते हैं, एक दोस्त के पर्सपेक्टिव से देखते हैं, वो पर्सपेक्टिव चेंज हो जाता है। तो यहाँ पर ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हमें इमोशनली वेल करना है अपनी इस जनरेशन को, जो आने वाली जनरेशन है उसको, और जो आगे जो हमारी जनरेशन है उसकी इमोशनल वेलनेस पर हमको बहुत ध्यान देना है। थैंक यू सो मच
एग्ज़ैक्टली।
मिस्टर पंकज। अब हम चाहेंगे कि आप हमारी क्रिएटिव टीम को अवार्ड ऑफ एक्सीलेंस दें। स्नेहा, आप प्लीज अवार्ड शेयर कर दीजिए,
मुझे
सर्टिफिकेट।
सबसे पहले तो मैं आपका धन्यवाद प्रकट करता हूँ कि स्पीकिंग क्यूब और डॉक्टर दीपिका चमोली ने मुझे अवसर दिया कि तमाम हमारे जो सहयोगी हैं उनको अवार्ड ऑफ एक्सीलेंस क्रिएटिव टीम को देने के लिए ये सौभाग्य मुझे दिया है। इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ।
Sneha, please share.
स्नेहा भारद्वाज जी को मैं बहुत-बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूँ, जो एचआर हैं स्पीकिंग क्यूब की, और जिस प्रकार से आप कार्य कर रहे हैं और समाज में ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, और निसंदेह आप जो काम कर रहे हैं इससे समाज में बदलाव आएगा, जागरूकता आएगी, और जो बहुत ये क्रिएटिव आप काम कर रहे हैं, इस तरीके के काम आज की तारीख में बहुत कम हो रहे हैं और इनकी बहुत ज़रूरत है, ज़मीनी स्तर पर। तो आपको बहुत-बहुत बधाई, और ये अवार्ड ऑफ एक्सीलेंस मिलने पर, और क्रिएटिव पूरी टीम को मैं बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। इसमें श्रेया खंतवाल जी भी हैं, जो यूपीएस की स्टूडेंट हैं, और इसमें हरनीत कौर जी भी हैं यूपीएस से, उनको भी मैं बहुत-बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। संस्कृति अग्रवाल जी हैं, उनको भी मैं बहुत-बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। और अनुष्का शर्मा जी हैं ग्राफिकरा कॉलेज से, उनको भी बहुत-बहुत बधाई पूरी क्रिएटिव टीम की, कि आप लोग हैं तो ये जो कॉन्फ्रेंस है ये मुमकिन हुई है, और मुझे ये सौभाग्य मिला है कि मैं आपको ये अवार्ड दूँ। बहुत-बहुत बधाई, बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद, और इन फ्यूचर मैं आशा करता हूँ कि आप लोग भी योग संस्था से जुड़ेंगे, और एक जो हमारा छोटा-सा प्रयास है समाज में जागरूकता लाने का, इसको आप और आगे तक ले जाएँगे हम सब मिलकर, और एक समाज में बदलाव लाएँगे, जागरूकता लाएँगे। और मैं देख रहा हूँ स्क्रीन पे श्रेया खंतवाल जी, हरनीत कौर जी, स्नेहा भारद्वाज जी, पूरी टीम को, क्रिएटिव टीम को बहुत-बहुत बधाई और बहुत-बहुत धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much. Now I would like to extend my vote of thanks to the State Minister, Mrs. Madhu Bhatt, uh, for being available on a short notice. I extend my heartfelt thanks to the Cabinet Minister for his message and support to Speaking Cube. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Anil Prakash Joshi ji, Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan HESCO, for supporting the organization as always. And I also extend my heartfelt thanks to the Chancellor of Shulini University to be a pillar in organizing the conference. Not only that, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to few of the students who are smiling right now, and at least they are smiling and laughing on the screen because of us, in a good way or bad way. Even if it is a bad way, it will transform into a good way sometimes, right? I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to all the faculty members who have presented their talks yesterday and today. Professor Sunita for such a wonderful presentation, Professor Mulazdi, Professor Abha Singh, Professor um, Deshpande, Professor Aradhna, Professor Madhurima, and all of the experts. They were so excellent, and they have enlightened our budding psychologists. So last but not the least, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to my friend Pankaj for being here, to my guides, Professor Dr. Rita Kumar, and advisor, Colonel Chetan Sharda, and finally to the audience. And I know 80% of you have been so patient and have presented the conference, presented the papers wonderfully. And now let me read the report. 25 total organizations come up together and collaborated with us in the form of collaborators and partners, knowledge partners. 22 national organizations and 2 international organizations. One international organization is University of Venda, and another one is Academy of Mindful Psychology, California, USA. 6 universities have directly collaborated in the form of collaborators and knowledge partners. And experts from 20 universities and academic institutions have presented their talks. 282 total registrations and 165 paper presentation on trauma and happy relationships have been done. Such a wonderful number, and I am so thankful because it is not Speaking Cube conference, it is Team Speaking Cube conference. So a clap to all of us. And all the full papers will be presented in International Journal of Indian Psychology, Humanities and Social Science Review, and Mind and Society Journal, because these three journals are also our publication partners. So all of you who have submitted your full papers will see your papers soon, within a month or two. Their letter of acceptance will be shared ASAP. So all of you, thank you everyone, and thank you for the good intent, because one intent was not enough. It has happened because of the collective intent of people. And there are hundreds of people involved to make this happen. And finally, let me tell you, this is the biggest ever conference, virtual international conference, which has happened on this particular topic, especially in Uttarakhand and probably in India. We do not know. We have not researched about that. But in our state, it is the largest virtual international conference which has happened in Uttarakhand. So thank you everyone for such a wonderful concluding. Over to you, Rita ma'am, to share a few words if you want.
Yes, certainly. I am the proud guide and advisor to Dr. Deepika Chamoli. And really, I'm proud of her. And I want every student to come up like this to make us proud. And all present here are listening and seeing how a height a student can achieve. There is no limit, or I will say, sky is the limit for everyone if you work hard, because everything is not the result of any guidance, but it is the result of the hard work of the student and the desire of the student. So that is why I will say all of you to please follow the footsteps and rise high more, more, and more. And I congratulate Speaking Cube and to all of us for a successful concluding and valedictory ceremony. And Mr. Pankaj, thank you so much for your all support. And I keep on listening about you and keep on seeing the programs you are conducting. Though I have not got any chance to be there physically present, but certainly I know that I'll get the chance. I'll be there in the program, and we will be contributing more in the endeavor you have taken, because my conclusion of the life is that the addiction is only due to the lack of life skills. If life skills are there, then person will never need any addiction. So we will work in the future, for the journey is long, but yes, all together will reach to the destination. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much all of you, because I'm amazed to see the presence of the participants in the conference. I am watching since yesterday. Means the presence was not less than 125, 30, and yesterday we touched more than 200 even. It was really amazing to see. It shows and it reflects that you all are enjoying and learning something new, which you wanted to learn. It means your receiving it was there. That's why you all are here. Otherwise, nobody joins any sessions for such a long. Thank you, all of you. God bless you all, and keep growing, keep rising.
And
Thank you so much, ma'am.
thank you, Rita ma'am. An announcement for all of you, all the participants. Please submit your paper ASAP. I think today is the last day. Upload your paper on the Google Drive, full paper on your Google Drive, along with your title, because in few of the papers, title is not there. So it's difficult for the reviewers. Second thing, we have selected few a few best presentations. So there'll be certificate of appreciation, and the certificate of appreciation will be announced tomorrow because still the scientific session is going on. So we cannot yet decide. So the names will be declared on the WhatsApp group itself and also via mail, right? So thank you everyone, and those who are interested
Thank
in
you.
connecting with us,
Congratulations, Dr. Deepika. Congratulations, Dr. Deepika. And I'm very happy to see such a wonderful, presence and completion of this conference. So my best wishes and thanks for the cooperation. But I'm in hospital, and despite of that, and all cooperation from you, I got during all my hard times. Thank you
thank you
once
so
again,
much, Nidhi
and
ma'am.
thank you. Bye bye. Take care and all the best. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am. All the students who wants to get connected to this drug-free campaign, drug de-addiction campaign, they can connect to us, write to us, connect to me or Sneha, right? We will do something good for the benefit of the mankind. And it is not for India, it is for South Africa, Venda also. So we are running a campaign, Drug Free India campaign, Drug Free Country and Nation campaign. So if you want to contribute in any way and volunteer or get associated, we would be more than happy. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye bye. Take care.